Hey everyone. So, I was going to post something yesterday, but unfortunately I was dealing with a migraine. I had a moment in between clients and I wanted to just discuss some of the events of yesterday. In this very short video, I'm going to cover two things. The conviction of Derek Chauvin and a video coming out tomorrow, which is unrelated. First, the important part. I am thrilled that Derek Chauvin was convicted. There are far better pundits than me as far as politics or social justice that I think have spoken pretty wisely about this. But I kind of want to talk about it from this perspective. One of the reasons why I feel like the conviction of Derek Chauvin is so important is that I think in the last year with COVID-19 and the BLM riots and the forest fires and all of this horror, right? The anti-trans bills, everything. Getting a victory for the left, getting something to where we see real justice being done is really meaningful. I said on Twitter through the TGT account that my thoughts and hopes go to George Floyd's family. I can't imagine what it was like for those people to watch the death of their loved one at the hands of a bigot. I could imagine that being really terrifying, horrifying, and traumatizing. As a therapist, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I've had to let people go in my life. When my wife was determined to be clinically brain dead, I had to pull the plug. I know what it's like to lose, but I can't even imagine what it's like to see such a senseless act of violence and atrocity done. I hope that George Floyd's family has the opportunity, now that this is over for them, at least for now, to be able to heal and properly grieve. I can imagine that in some ways, the trial of Derek Chauvin, the BLM riots, and the subsequent fascist response to them by Trump probably felt a lot like ripping the wound open again and again. The problem that took George Floyd's life exposed again and again and again. I don't know what that was like. I can only speak for my own personal tragedies and say that my heart goes out to them. And that I think we should claim this victory. I hope that things will change going forward. I'm a bit of a cynic though, so I don't know. I don't think so. I do think there's an argument to be made that this will have a cultural effect, that perhaps bigoted police will think twice before acting. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. To the conservatives out there, I'm not going to say anything cruel or anything harmful. I know there's a lot of pundits out there that are chalking this up as a win, and I've done so on Twitter as per the usual behavior. But here I just want to say, all you had to do was admit that Derek Chauvin did wrong. You didn't give a hell about this cop. You didn't give a fuck about this man. It was just a way for you to throw another black person on the pile. All you had to do was go for the easy W and say, we do not support that. But the inherent systemic racism in your beliefs, in your ideology, prevented you from doing so, and it showed your hand. This man was a well-known white supremacist and longtime bigot. And in your support of him, you've shown that you're willing to support monsters, just as you did with Trayvon Martin's killer and in every other situation to which a black person has been killed unjustly. I know you're not going to listen to me. I'm just a leftist trans woman, utterly ignorable. But I need you to think about what it would be like for you to see a member of your family, a loved member of your family, killed by the state in a reckless and absolutely unjust way. And think about what it was like for his family to see that video. Instead of spending all the time trying to paint all the ways that this was somehow justified in your mind, really consider, from a place of compassion, look at the fact that these are very horrifying times. And all you had to do was condemn this one act, and you couldn't even do that. So my heart goes out to George Floyd's family. While I do hope that Derek Chauvin pays for the crimes that he committed, I will say that I don't hope that he gets harmed, and I'm not going to make jokes about things that'll happen in prison. I think those are inappropriate, and at the worst case scenario, actively support rape culture. I want the man incarcerated. I want him away from the rest of society so he can't do harm. But again, on this channel, I argue for rehabilitation. Do I think he can be rehabilitated? No. But I don't think torture or rape jokes are appropriate either. What I want to happen is for justice to be served. My hope is that the sentencing will reflect that. So, again, love to those who are deeply affected by this. Support, and please rest in peace, George Floyd. Your killer has been brought to justice. Now to the second part of this. It didn't feel quite appropriate to put these two things in the same small video, but I felt like with the small amount of time I have that I would try to use it effectively. So if you feel emotionally moved to do so, you can just stop the video here and just take time to reflect on everything that's happened. I'm not going to blame you for that. The thing I want to talk about is the video coming out tomorrow. For those who were on the stream yesterday, or not yesterday, excuse me, on Sunday, can't tell time apparently, I spoke about a fairly painful thing involving another content creator. And while I don't go directly at that content creator, I do bring up some very hurt feelings. I, in that video, used a term while angry, which is woke scold, a term that was originally created by Ben Shapiro and subsequently is being used by leftists, at least some leftists, to describe a faction within the left that behaves in very, very concerning ways. I also know that this term is contentious, both because of its origin and because a lot of people feel like, and understandably so, that it is similar to the SJW term from the 2016 alt-right days. I don't know if I fully agree with that, but I understand that the word is contentious, and so I want you to understand what I mean when I say that. When I say that term, what I am referring to is what I see as people who are morally essentializing. That is, there is only good and there is only bad. If you speak up in defense of somebody and disagree with their opinion, it is not that you have a disagreement that may be reasoned out or thought about. It is that you are evil, that you are a bigot or supporting a bigot. This essentialization of people's positions and this sort of condemnation of their character, at best case scenario, is just ad hominem. But at worst case scenario, it's a level of moral absolutism that no one can really live to. I am a big fan of people being forgiven and being able to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. Sorry, my phone went off. In the video, you're going to hear me fairly upset. I didn't say anything risque or problematic other than that term, but I wanted to let you know what I mean by it because I am scared. I'm a very new content creator, and with the content creators I've talked to in the background, there is a fear about this. What Lindsay Ellis said in her video about the beast is true. And I've seen a lot of leftists attempt to minimize this stuff. But what they forget is that we don't see everything. We don't see the behind the scenes. We don't see the doxing. We don't see the harassment and the abuse. We only see the stuff that happens on Twitter. And there's a tendency for these folks to gaslight the person in trouble and say that they're just embellishing, that they're just trying to go for sympathy. And now that might be true in some cases. It can't be true in all of them. This assumption of people having some sort of Machiavellian ulterior motive feels very paranoid and incredibly conspiratorial. I want to be very clear that I want to be able to reach out an olive branch to any leftists out there, but I also want to accept people who come from moral absolute perspective, at least around leftists. I'm willing to have a fairly concrete view of conservatives and fascists because those people are political enemies, and I think they do real harm to mental health and real harm to people as a whole. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt on the left and see if they're willing to learn from these things and find better, more constructive ways to engage. That is the purpose of this channel, is to help mental health and realize that mental health is political. If we're going to call ourselves leftists, why aren't we behaving like them? We claim ours as the more moral, more empirically true position, but we have people throwing out essentialist views and never really checking into the actual veracity of them. They just parrot what they heard someone smarter say. So I just want to put that video for tomorrow in context because my hope is that you understand where I'm coming from. If you don't, or you think I've spoken inappropriately, feel free to say so in the comments. Obviously, aggressive or harmful or character attacking things will not be approved. The same is true with transphobic statements, which we've been getting a lot more of lately. I do want you to know that I don't see those. There was a comment made that got deleted that I was informed of that said something to the effect of, it was a response to the "you'll never be a woman" argument. And they said, "You'll never be a woman and you're just going to delete this so no one can see it." And the joke was I didn't see it. It was told to me by the person doing the deleting. I don't know why these people waste this time. There's a buffer there. You're literally wasting your time. Your finite amount of time on this planet, you're wasting it to be hateful towards one random trans woman. I don't have 1 million followers. I don't have a ton of subscribers. I have 224 people as of today who like the work that I do and think that maybe I have some points. Don't know why I'm such a threat to you guys. This hate and this acting out is really indicative of just fear. Remember, it goes both ways. It's really clear when you guys act out in these ways that it comes from a place of feeling threatened and feeling like the world around you is crumbling. I'm sorry that's happening, but the ways and the traditions and the ideas that you hold are actively harmful. And if you want to spend so much time attacking me, you can be my guest. The comments will continue to be deleted. You can waste your time writing whole screeds about why I'm wrong. But the reality is that you're not hurting anyone but yourself. So, with that said, again, my love and best wishes go out to George Floyd's family. I hope that the people who have been incredibly supportive for this channel will understand where I'm coming from the video tomorrow. And if you are confused or feel like something's incongruous, please tell me. I want to work on this. I want to have a conversation. If the terminology I use is inaccurate, let's make better ones. Let's use better words and better ways to describe this very real phenomenon that is scaring people. I think Lindsay Ellis is right. There's this beast, but no one can speak about it. And the terms that are used have not great histories. So there's some people that are very, very skeptical about them. Yeah. I really appreciate all of you who are watching and subscribing. I really appreciate the 3 or 4 now new Patreon members. You guys are fucking great. And I'm probably going to start putting your names in the credits of the videos. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you're taking the day to either celebrate or mourn or just take care of yourself. Do self-care. And with that said, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.